So we were on chapter 3, effects of thoughts on health and body. If you would perfect your body, guard your mind. If you would renew your body, beautify your mind. Thoughts of malice, envy, and disappointment, despondency, rob the body of its health and grace. A sour face does not come by chance. It is made by sour thoughts. Wrinkles that mar are drawn by folly, passion, pride. So what we are referring to here is whatever is showing in your body, it's not coming by chance. कि यार ये तो मेरे साथ हो गया, you know, I had a accident, as you know, for that example, for that matter, even if you're talking about I had an accident, this happened to me, my leg is paining, I didn't do anything, but still it's paining, or whatever is the condition of your body at that time, it's all not by chance. It's a pure manifestation of the thoughts at play. अगर मैं ये सोच रहा हूं कि मेरे को ये बीमारी हो गई है और रियलिटी में मेरे को वो बीमारी नहीं है, but if I continue to think that way, that I have this, I have this, I have this, eventually I will, or whoever is having that thought of any illness, even if he does not have, because if you do have, a medicine will be able to solve it. But whereas it's just a thought, or if it's just a vahem, there is no medicine, it's not going to help. And even if that ailment is not there in the body, your thoughts, your sour thoughts are actually going to manifest that state which you are thinking into your actual reality. Reality में वो नहीं है, बट हम उस थॉट को कि हमें वो बीमारी है या हमें वो स्टेट ऑफ डिसईज है, इतनी ज्यादा पावर दे देते हैं that it actually gets manifested in our reality, whereas that was not the case when we started thinking. So at that time we had that choice. If we want, we can change this seed and replace it with a seed which is going to give us or talk about our good health. But अगर हमने वो सीड रिप्लेस नहीं किया और उसी सीड को, बैड हेल्थ डिसीज वाली सीड को पानी देना शुरू कर दिया, it will manifest into your reality. Things do not happen in your body in terms of your disease just by chance. हर एक डिसीज का एक साइकोसोमेटिक कॉज होता है. We've talked about it earlier in our other groups. So each and every state of not being at ease with what is in your body in terms of a ailment, a disease, a pain, ache, or anything, everything has a psychosomatic cause. Nothing is there. Because होता क्या है लाइफ में, जब भी हमारे साथ कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंस होता है wherein what we want or what our expectations are and what is the actual reality, and if there is a gap between what we desire and what we get, there is a trauma that is created. हालांकि जो हम डिजायर कर रहे हैं और जो हम क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, that creation is also part of that seed, but that is probably part of an unconscious, unmanifested seed where we are not aware कि हमने ये seed plant किया हुआ है in terms of our thought of seed. But जब वो gap आता है, that gap in our conscious mind creates a concept called trauma. And then that trauma takes a address in your entire body. It can be anything. It can be in your hands, it can be in your organs, it can be in your head, it can be in your legs. It can take an address anywhere possible. So not necessary that, it's going to have a permanent thing that my trauma is going to be stored in this particular body part. No. Depending on what the trauma is, it'll be stored in that particular body part. So that is how, when we talk about those psychosomatic causes for all diseases, once we start work on that particular state of disease and start to know what is the actual psychosomatic cause, that is where we will get to that seed जो हमने plant किया था उस time पे. And it's not complicated. It's actually very simple. For example, if we have a lot of acidity in our lives, what is causing the acidity? You are eating some food and the food is not being digested well through your digestive system. That is why there is a reflux, there is excess acid is required to digest that food. और उस चीज से एक स्टेट या एक डिसईज निकल के आता है that you feel, there is a lot of acidity, there is a lot of reflux, and you are not very comfortable with that. So if we take and talk about acidity as such, what is the psychosomatic cause behind acidity is when we start to actually think, what is it in my life that I am unable to digest properly? And it can be anything. You're not able to digest that the other person is more successful than you are. You're not able to digest the fact that the other person said something to you. It can be anything. So that is where we need to start working on ourselves. And this entire thing is done basically to get to that seed. ये सीड प्लांट कहाँ से हुआ है जिससे मेरे को आज ये एसिडिटी हो रही है? बिकॉज जब तक मैं उस सीड को जो आज मुझे एसिडिटी दे रहा है निकालूंगा नहीं और वहां पे एक नया गुड थॉट सीड, गुड हेल्थ थॉट सीड नहीं डालूंगा, that reality is not going to change. Just because it is very important for the stomach to make peace, or for that individual to make peace with that situation which he or she is unable to digest properly. And once you are able to decipher and decode what is it that you were unable to digest properly, you will slowly realize that your acidity or that state of discomfort in your stomach will start to get better. Because not necessarily there's going to be just one cause. There can be multiple things that you are unable to digest. But that's a conscious way of working with your state of disease by getting and working to go to that seed जो हमने plant किया consciously or unconsciously, जिससे आज वो body में discomfort. So it all starts with that seed of thought. I know a woman of 96 who has bright, innocent face of a girl. I know a man well under middle age whose face is drawn into its harmonious contours. The one is the result of sweet and sunny disposition. The other is the outcome of passion and discontent. It actually, you can, see it in a lot of people's faces. Those who are good with reading people in terms of their body language, in terms of their gestures, you can actually make out without them speaking that, what is their state and their face. I mean, it's a big concept called physiogamy, where you analyze the entire person just based on his face. और वो फेस पे रिफ्लेक्शन किस चीज की आ रही है? उस सीड ऑफ थॉट की जिससे हम बॉडी चला रहे हैं. सो अगर वो सीड ऑफ थॉट मैंने हेल्दी हेल्दी थॉट, हैप्पीनेस की थॉट डाली, उसका मेरे को रिजल्ट मिला एंड आई एम हैप्पी, it will definitely show on my face or anybody's face. There's a lot of people you see, and at their first glance, you get to know that, in Hindi, people refer to as इसके माथे पे बड़ा अच्छा तेज है. What is that? That's actually the glow of his thoughts reflecting on his face. So जो आपके face पे है, it's nothing but the sum collection of whatever that chemical locha is happening in your brain and how you are playing it with the seeds, with the thoughts you are implanting, and with the seeds you are plucking, and definitely with the seeds which you are watering and nurturing. वो आपके body parts पे, face पे दिखेगा. And when you get into details of physiogamy, I mean, each and every part of the face can be decoded so well, so beautifully, that it goes up to a very fine instinct of, say, a particular line on the forehead also depicts something. That's the detailed research if you start getting into face reading or physiogamy. As you cannot have a sweet and wholesome abode unless you admit the air and sunshine freely into your rooms. So a strong body and a bright, happy, or serene countenance can only result from the free administrance into the mind of thoughts of joy and goodwill and serenity. Now, very nicely, it's trying to tell you कि whatever we are thinking, thoughts तो सारे available है universe में. I mean, there are thoughts of joy, there are thoughts of being angry or being disintegrated, there are thoughts of goodwill, there are thoughts of ill will. So all thoughts exist. ऐसा नहीं है कि खाली गुड थॉट्स ही होते हैं या बैड थॉट्स ही होते हैं. It's a bag full. It's it's a rainbow. All colors exist. But what is it that we are opening our door to? That is what matters. हम किस थॉट को परमिशन दे रहे हैं by way of our attention, and giving that permission or that attention to that thought is our way of watering that seed and then bearing the fruits of whatever seed we sow. So that is where when we talk about a concept of being consciously aware, is to be very, very mindful of what thought you are actually putting in your mind, and how are you watering it, or what is the thought that you are watering or giving your attention to, because that seed and that thought is going to show its fruits. एक बार एक सीड आ गया और आपने उसको थोड़ी देर तक पानी दे दिया, बाद में रियलाइज हुआ कि भैया अब तो इसको पानी दे दिया है, ये तो थोड़ा बड़ा हो गया. वंस यू स्टार्टेड रियलाइजिंग कि अब तो इसके सीड्स का जो फ्रूट निकल रहा है उससे थोड़ी डिस्कम्फर्ट हो रही है. वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू टू चेंज दैट सीड एट दिस टाइम. अब उसने फ्रूट देना है, बट आज आप एक नया सीड तो डाल सकते हो ना. And when you are in that journey of being consciously aware, you will be very, very mindful of that thought seed which gave you certain uncomfortable fruits. कि भैया इसके अभी और प्रोडक्ट्स भी आने हैं, but I am aware of it, and yes, whatever is it, I will be able to manage it. But today, I am definitely planting the good seeds, the good thought seeds, जिसके fruits मेरे को आने वाले फ्यूचर में ज्यादा से ज्यादा बेनिफिट करेंगे. On the faces of the aged, there are wrinkles made by sympathy, others by strong and pure thought, and others are carved by passion. Who cannot distinguish them? With those who have lived righteously, age is calm, peaceful, and softly mellowed, like the setting sun. I have recently seen a philosopher on his deathbed. He was not old except in years. He died as sweetly and peacefully as he had lived. सो जो भी आप कर रहे हो या जिस भी थॉट को या जिस भी थॉट सीड को आप पानी दे रहे हो, दैट इज एक्चुअली गोइंग टू डिसाइड योर वे ऑफ बीइंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर इंटायर जर्नी हियर ऑन प्लैनेट अर्थ. अगर मैं बार बार एक पर्टिकुलर थॉट को पानी दे ही जा रहा हूँ, दैट इज अ वेरी क्लियर cut criteria that is actually going to be with me till my deathbed. And if I make that choice of being consciously aware and start giving water to this seed of being consciously aware, even if I start right now, it is going to continue with me till the time I am here alive and the breath is there. Nobody can take that away. But what generally happens with a lot of people, कि हम उस पानी देने की बजाय किसी और थॉट सीड को पानी देना शुरू कर देते हैं.
भैया your voice is cracked.
Just a second. I'm audible now?
Yeah.
So जब हम उस सीड को पानी दे रहे हैं और जब तक हम उस when we're talking about particularly of this seed of being consciously aware, जब तक हम इस थॉट को पानी देते रहेंगे तब तब इसके फ्यूचर में हमें बेनिफिट्स मिलते रहेंगे. And it's not कि if I stop watering this seed today, from right the next moment or from right tomorrow, I will stop being consciously aware. No, every seed will have a life of fruition. So जो मैं आज कर रहा हूँ उसका इफेक्ट मुझे नॉट नेसेसरी कल मिले, परसों मिले, हो सकता है 3 महीने बाद मिले. So we have, you find a lot of people who are going absolutely peaceful with themselves and slowly start deviating away. And after 3-4 months, they realize, wow, I'm back to square one. I was, in such a good space, and suddenly everything is the same. What is wrong? So it's very important for us to know and realize कि जो भी हम consciously aware होके which thought seed should we plant and which thought seed should we water, because that is actually going to be there, in your future, in your reality. So if you want to lead a peaceful, happy life, even till the time of your last breath, start watering the seed of being consciously aware and start watering the seed of removing the jack from your life. Because once we implant these two seeds and start watering them, everything starts to fall in place in terms of your acceptance or your acknowledgement to what is as it is. There is no if and but in that case then. There is no physician like cheerful thought for dissipating the ills of the body. There is no comforter to compare with goodwill for dispersing the shadows of grief and sorrow. To live continually in the thoughts of ill will, cynicism, suspicion, and envy is to be confined in a self made prison home. But to think well of all, to be cheerful with all, to patiently learn to find the good in all, such unselfish thoughts are the very portals of heaven, and to dwell day by day in thoughts of peace towards every creature will bring abounding peace to their possessor. So, when we are talking about being good to others, we cannot and we should not make a choice. I know this guy, he has been nice to me, I will be nice to him. I know this guy, this particular person, he has not been nice to me my entire life. I'm not going to be nice to him. It does not work like that. Because what the other person is doing, that's his reality. But how you are behaving is your reality. Not necessary if the other person has done wrong to us that we need to get back and make it fair, square, even. No. He's on his own journey. He or she is on his own journey. You are on your own journey. So, how the thoughts are going to work in this particular concept is that you need to have those thoughts for all. You cannot be pick and choosy. I'll be nice to 4 people, not nice to 3 people. Not nice की अगर thought चाहे एक बंदे के लिए भी आ गई है, that's a seed which is there in your mind, जिसको आपने पानी देना शुरू कर दिया और attention देनी शुरू कर दी. And slowly वो category बढ़ती जाएगी. It's not कि पॉजिटिव की कैटेगरी नहीं बढ़ेगी, पॉजिटिव की भी बढ़ेगी बट साथ साथ नेगेटिव भी बढ़ेगी. बस जिस भी चीज को आप अटेंशन दोगे, जिस भी सीड, थॉट सीड को आप पानी दोगे, वो अपना इफेक्ट, उसका फ्रूट तो आएगा ही आएगा. You cannot stop it. But once you start getting on and realize this, that it's my journey, and whatever thought I want to give water to, or whatever thought I want to nourish, or whatever seed of thought I want to nourish, that is going to actually create my reality, and that is actually being manifested by me. Because मैं ही उस thought को पानी दे रहा हूँ. Thoughts तो बहुत random है. 66,000 thoughts a day. A thought nearly a second. So imagine 86,400 seconds in a day, and we have 60 to 66,000 thoughts a day. So nearly a second and a half, there is a thought. Am I giving attention to all the thoughts? No. But there are a particular thoughts, those seeds I am picking, and I'm actually giving the attention, giving my time, giving the water, nurturing it, and protecting that seed so that that seed will give its fruit. अगर वो नेगेटिव सीड है, साथ में एक पॉजिटिव सीड है, तो नेगेटिव का भी इफेक्ट आएगा, पॉजिटिव का भी इफेक्ट आएगा. इट्स नॉट कि पॉजिटिव कर दिया तो नेगेटिव नलिफाई हो जाएगा. नो, life will never work. Life is not an actual maths problem. Two negatives will make it positive. There's a nice dialogue which you hear in a lot of Hindi movies. दुश्मन का दुश्मन हमारा दोस्त होता है, something like that. So life does not work like this, yeah. And two negatives will have negative outcomes, and two positives will have positive outcomes. Two positives, two negatives will not make it nullify. पॉजिटिव के अपने आउटकम्स आएंगे, नेगेटिव के अपने आउटकम्स आएंगे, बिकॉज आपने उन चारों सीड्स को नरिशमेंट दी है, उन चारों सीड्स को अपनी अटेंशन दी है. सो ऑल दोज फोर सीड्स विल मैनिफेस्ट इनटू योर रियलिटी. So you can't be picky and choosy that I will be nice only to a few limited. That's not how it works. Because I am nice not because others are nice. I am nice because I am nice. And that is the seed I want to take, and that is the seed I want to nurture. Yes, Supri.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also believed what you're saying in this philosophy, and I've always tried to maintain my relationships and everybody trying to be normal, nice, and loving and helping and everything. But I do remember a certain case where I remember that in a group of friends and all, where uh, I was being asked to pass a judgment on a particular friend couple, and I was not ready to do that because I wasn't like in that mode only ki, I mean, I just accepted whoever they were in whatever way, but somehow I felt that I was being indirectly being told that you are being pretentious by being nice to them. You know that they were like this, why don't you just pass, why don't you just agree to so it was like as if I had to give a judgment where, and I was not even ready to. I mean, this was the first time I had met this couple, and I was supposed to. I mean, they were whoever they are, like whoever. Everybody is different, unique. Some are loud, some are quiet, some have their background a lot in their overall demeanor. But I was not in the phase or mind space only of deciding anything, but I just felt that I had to make a judgment because everybody around me was like, haha, you are miss nice now, you don't want to say anything. So what do you do in these situations where you actually don't have a judgment to pass? I mean, you're like, theek hai, jaise hai, I mean, okay. And I face this a lot because not a lot, but certain times I feel uh, that people think that, oh, she's trying to be miss nice, isko to sabko hi dikhana hai ki ye she's miss nice. So I just wanted to understand, like, not that it affects me or bothers me, it doesn't at all. मुझे नहीं फर्क पड़ता कि अगर if that's what others pass judgment about me. But what I mean, what do you think one should do in that case? Because people do kind of tend to just make a conclusion, draw a conclusion, and I'm not into drawing conclusions that much.
So you made a question and you answered it yourself.
Did I? Okay.
So if it does not bother you, then let it be. Na? Then why do you need an answer?
Right. No, I think because you were talking about it, so maybe it was more like a sharing of an
So, you answered,
experience.
you asked the
Yeah,
question and then you answered
I
yourself.
realized I did. I realized I did towards the end.
At the end of the
Yeah,
day, what people think of you will not matter, but what you think of yourself, and that's the true voice,
yeah.
which only you are aware. That's the beauty of that. तो मेरी सेल्फ टॉक मेरे मेरे अंदर है, मेरे बारे में मैं बाहर
Hmm,
जितना मर्जी फेक कर दूं, मैं अंदर नहीं फेक कर सकता. And eventually
correct.
what is on the inside will come on there.
Hmm,
You can't fake it for long. So अगर उस
right.
डायलॉग में हम ओके हैं तो क्या टेंशन. See, everybody will push
Thank you.
themselves. As a person, you will
Hmm,
always like to push yourself to a limit. There will be
Yeah.
very people, people outside of you, but you need to realize and decide
Hmm.
for yourself, am I the same person that I am projecting myself to be? Or is there a gap?
Yeah, no, in that particular case I really felt that यार नहीं है कुछ बोलने को, तो मैं मतलब क्या क्या बोलूं, क्या जजमेंट पास करूं, and so thank you, Saurabh wrote a sweet comment. Yeah, I think it was like a riddle that I questioned myself, answered myself.
So the best
So
word in
yeah.
any of situations like this, I mean, it was very nicely put by Osho in one of his books
Hmm.
called maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
It can be taken in any direction.
Yeah, right. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody wants to ask anything? Anything anybody wants to? We're done for the reading for today. I don't want to start the chapter today because tomorrow's chapter is on, your thoughts and your